Welcome into Extra Time. April Fool's Day, of course, today.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, is that why you winding me up when you said it was good that VAR's not being used in the playoff final? Was it just a big ruse? Because if
Unfortunately,
it was,
no.
you got me well.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't a wind-up, and that's what the authorities have said will happen, and that's what's going to happen.
Doesn't mean you have to agree with them.
Well, I can agree with them because, you know, the Championship clubs have spent all season fighting for this, you know, magnificent opportunity without VAR. So why introduce it on that last game? I just don't see it as a, you know, an issue.
Isn't he arguing against himself?
No, no! Why would you not use it?
Why are you getting angry? Don't get
Because
angry.
I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe that
He's a referee.
It's a genuine argument. If it's
By the
there,
way,
use it.
Right, I'll take you off the subject, might make you smile a bit more. Do you remember when you got me with the April Fool?
Yes. Yeah, that was very good. That's when NYCFC put out the fact that they were going to sell tickets for people to sit in the goal as like a VVIP thing.
And I can't believe
And you
have
fell for it.
I must have been having a bad day because I fell for it.
Hard.
That's right.
Hard.
But I thought it was one of these extra gimmicks that
Yep.
some people try to add to, you know,
To sell it more?
To sell a bit more.
Yeah, well, we got you.
I did. I was like, after I was like,
What?
I was like,
What?
That's very
fans
good.
going in the goals to see what. And then I was like, hold on a minute. Hold on. But see, that's the thing. I could have seen them possibly trying something.
That was it. It was just.
See, I had not ruled that out in my mind.
Yes.
As a gimmick.
Peter, are you a prankster in the Walton household today?
Oh, well, hopefully not, you know, but that day hasn't ended yet, so we'll wait and see. But I haven't been pranked at the moment, but you never know what's around the corner, do you?
No, you don't.
I saw something on Twitter today, and I don't know the guy, and I don't follow him, but somebody retweeted it. You'll probably know Bobby Boswell.
Yes, sir.
He's retired. I saw a tweet from somebody come on my timeline that his agent called him this morning and told him there was a team in need and he had to get to the airport, that he was going to play somewhere for a few months or whatever to bail them out. And he got all the way to the airport with all his gear and his boots and ready to go. And the agent called him and went, you're still retired. Tell you what, if that had been me, straight in the car, round the agent's house.
Off. Lovely.
Anyway, I just saw that pop up. I thought, that's not too bad.
Would Spurs not finishing the top four be the most Spurs-y thing ever? I don't know. Those Spurs-y things a bit.
Yeah, I'm not into all this Spurs-y thing. They're in the quarter-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
Well, it would be a bit of a disaster for them, bearing in mind they were actually in the title race, kind of, up till about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Sure. Yeah, what's it? No wins the last 5?
It's been a steep decline. Let's just say that. Certainly in the league, it has been. And it would be incredibly disappointing. I don't know how long-term how the team recovers from it, because it may just send a message to many of the players that, look, this is perhaps not where we need to be if we want to take the next step in our careers. And so all the big names get put on the table, and a lot of those big names may not be coming back to the team.
And what Daniel Levy doesn't, I'm sure he does realise, the chief exec, is that to that point that when success becomes further away and players start to leave, it's because you didn't spend that money initially. Because you're now starting to see a Spurs midfield and side that are a little threadbare compared to others. You know, they sold Moussa Dembele to China early in the year. Now they get injuries to Harry Winks, Eric Dyer, and others have had injuries. And there's just not adequate. There is some cover. There's not adequate cover. It's not like Liverpool or Man City can just go, oh, Fernandinho's out, so I'll go and do this. And so that could be a big issue for them.
They've got Palace, haven't they, midweek and start their new stadium?
At home, yeah.
What can be done with refereeing around the world? Has the game sped up so much that they just can't keep up anymore, Peter?
No, I don't think that's true. I think that the referees are, you know, commensurate in their fitness ability with the game. What's happened around the world is that the game has got much more scrutinised by the likes of you in terms of the cameras being used, and everything's in slow motion. And we both know that the game's not played in slow motion. So, you know, at times the referees will not detect what TV can. I don't think they got any worse. I just think that technology is probably overtaken rather than the game.
I've seen the argument, Peter, that VAR shouldn't be used in slow motion, that it should be just normal game speed. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I agree with that, actually. And again, under the VAR protocol, the slow motion should only be used to see if there's pointed contact, not the force of contact. And a replay to the referee on the actual ground should be shown once in slow motion to see if there's a pointed contact, and then secondly, in real time, so that he gets a feel for whether or not that contact was adequate or not. So don't use slow motion. It exaggerates every contact.
Do you know when I was playing, I used to absolutely terrorise officials.
No.
In slow motion or?
No, full motion.
Okay.
And I honestly...
Towards the end of the career, it was slow motion.
It was slow motion.
I honestly didn't have much respect for them. And honestly, if the official was having a bad game, I just would go after him to try and get an advantage. However, I must say, since then, I've got the utmost respect for officials. The job they do is, we pick holes in decisions that are few and far between. There's hundreds upon hundreds of games that have gone on at the weekends where officials have got so many decisions right. And I tell you what, who does a better job than referees for me is assistants.
Is this an April Fool?
No, I tell you why. I tell you why, because when players are crossing over, a defender coming out and an attacker going in at full speed, it is so difficult for that official, the assistant, to spot that offside and get it right. And I tell you what, more often than not, they get it right.
Wow.
What have you done to him, Peter?
What have you done?
You want to clap for him or what?
Let me just come back on that. There's a great clip on YouTube. Actually, if you Google YouTube, and you'll see where you can actually take a test.
That's it.
Wait.
Hold on, go back.
You can take a test in terms of being the assistant referee, and the number of people who have taken that test and got things wrong actually see how hard it is. You're spot on.
Just Google YouTube.
Yes,
and then go onto your MySpace page.
Yeah. I tell you what, that is the most Steve Nicholas comment I've heard for a while. You do realise Steve Nichol got Dan Thomas to his desk one day and asked him how to get on Google, and he was actually already on Google typing how to get Google.
It's Googling Google.
He was Googling Google to see how to get Google. So you're not quite there, Pete, but you're close.
Yeah, okay.
But to the question,
I knew what I meant to say.
There's a question that what can be done with refereeing around the world is being done.
Yeah.
VAR.
Well,
that's what's supposed to help.
Not in the playoff final.
You didn't see that love coming for I think they do agree. I think
it made me uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do, where to look.
I honestly think, in the main, officials do a great job. I didn't see it that way when I was playing.
Right.
Particularly one called Neil Barry. I won't mention his name.
Right.
Oops, slipped out.
Can I also add that?
I better not be positive about referees.
You've got VAR in there as well, but also you've got a number of leagues now who are beginning to make their refereeing pool professional. So they've got the time to get fitter, they've got the time to recover, and they've got the time to focus mentally on the game. So they'll be getting more and more decisions correct.
I tell you what, we'll have to go to VAR tonight to reassess your dress sense, and the VAR has said it's a red card.
Wow. That dress sense says 25, 26 Stableford points.
It says, I've come straight from the golf for a quick payday. Or maybe not.
Which events usually distract the referee or linesman the most? Did you ever have a streaker? We can talk about streakers. Yeah, did you ever have a streaker,
Sure.
Peter?
Yes, I've had a streaker before, yeah. Unfortunately for me, it was a male streaker, but hey, who cares? But it stopped the game, and we had a sort of a moment to have a look, and then we got on with the game. So that didn't really distract me. What used to distract me was
players running around.
Yeah, what used to distract me was the antics of some of the coaching staff on the sidelines. I used to sort of smile to myself at times, because whatever their theatrics did really didn't change any decision I made in my career, but it was quite funny sometimes watching them.
Neil Warnock, of course, doing that yesterday.
Yes, he was, yeah.
Do I ask you about streakers, or do we say goodbye?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't speak English.
There we go, right, OK, ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow.
En español.
Manchester United are playing Wolves. Are we talking about that?
All right.